about that time. Thank you so much for downloading today's episode of the Red Pill Investor. My name's John Ashley, a pseudonym of a realtor here in the great state of Arizona, here to help you with your real estate sales skill. Why? Well, it's just sort of my way to pay it forward for all the people who've given me the tips, the tricks, the things to say to get the contract signed when I needed it the most. Their only request of me, well, simply pay it forward. And thank you so much for joining me today on today's episode of the Red Pill Investor, episode number 476, How to Make an Offer on a House. How to make an offer on a house. No matter if you're a realtor or a wholesaler or a potential just home buyer, there are a few things I think you should know before making an offer on a home. You know, by following a few of these, what I would like to call beyond baby steps ideas, you're going to find that your success ratio of getting your contract signed goes up and the price that you pay goes down. Now again, these tips are meant to be more advanced in nature, so if you're curious about how to do this, maybe the minutia of making an offer or making that, well, the National Association of Realtors has an excellent article by the same name as this podcast, so you might want to check that out. But if you're ready for a brand new awareness of making better offers and negotiating from a stronger position, then grab a piece of paper and a pencil and let's get started with point number one. Point number one, ask powerful questions. Ask powerful questions. See, what I thought was questions about motivation. That's usually my first place that I go to. You know, what happens if it doesn't sell? I mean, this needs to be something that you need to discuss early in the conversation. Their motivation to sell their home. I mean, let's just be honest. If they're not motivated, then it's not a deal. And if they won't talk to you about their motivation, then they're probably not worth much of your time. See, the key here, however, is the way that you ask. You got to be sure that you ask nicely. It's like out of curiosity. Like, oh gosh, Mr. Seller, where you guys headed when you do sell? Oh, well, we're moving to Tuscaloosa, Alabama, or it's this, or it's an estate sale, or whatever. See, this is important because you can't want something more than they do. And understand that when you make your offer, you have to make sure you're clear in your mind that this offer is a valuable thing. See, people today act as though a written offer happens all the time. And trust me, after 19 years in the real estate business, I can assure you it doesn't. See, an offer has tremendous psychological value. Therefore, don't cast your pearls before swine, like the Bible said, right? Consider them valuable. They must go out to only the most motivated of prospects. Point B on the questions about time. You want to ask questions about time. Use time in your offer to your advantage. See, you want to ask deep probing questions to determine the timing. And if they're not going to share, well, gosh, when would they like to have their home sold by? Well, then you could say, well, gosh, is Monday too soon? Oh my goodness, yeah, Monday's probably a little too soon. Oh, okay, well then it's 6 months too long. See, where ideally would they like to go ahead and get their money? When would that day be? It's important to know that so that you can go ahead and frame your offer for it later. You'll want to ask questions about competition. You'll definitely want to ask a lot of questions about competition. When you're making an offer, understand if there's more than one offer in play, it doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to have to bid higher to get it. Just make sure that you're doing the best you can to be the last one in. Right? Don't fear the competition, just be better than them. Understand that sales is a transference of belief, and it's better to know it now that you've got competition than be surprised on it later. Point number 2, be funded. Be funded. if you want to get your offer through, be funded. Make sure that when you make your offer, there is little doubt about your ability to close. Listen, if you're a wholesaler, consider getting a proof of funds letter from any hard money lender, any private money lender, or transactional funding. If you're getting a loan, well, get a pre-approval from a local lender and have the pre-approval written a couple different ways. First, the maximum that you would qualify for. That way, if you need it in some sort of way, then you could use it. And then, of course, the other way you can have it written is the amount that you want to offer. That way you can go ahead and present and have them available if you need them. Either way you go, cash or financed, before you even think about making up an offer, you want to ensure that you're able to prove it fast. Okay? All this talk about buyers and people saying, well, I'm sure they'll qualify. Listen, that's not good enough anymore. Okay? This isn't back in the day when money was easy. Okay? Point number 3. To get your offer through, present it personally. This is the hardest part of all. If you're asking for a significant amount of money off, at least offer to present it personally. Now, I understand that the agent's job is to get the parties together. I get that, and then to get out of the way. That's what they should do. And they should assist in the negotiations, but at the bottom of the contract, it's still your name. Many times, if you're able to articulate clearly in a clear and logical way, they're going to understand it. Okay, I'm talking about the seller here. Now, I didn't say that they would agree with it, okay? That's where the agents kind of come in handy sometimes. They can help find areas of common ground. But be aware of your ego, because it's destructive in negotiations, not only within yourself, but also within your agent. Don't let feelings get in the way of a perfectly good negotiation, because feelings cloud judgment. If you want to be helpful to people, if you want to help more people, and you want to close more deals, be dispassionate. Like a doctor. I'm not saying cold, be connected, but not attached to the outcome. Well, guys, there's 3 powerful tips to help you present better offers. Just remember that if you ask better questions from the outset about their motivation, about their timing, and any potential competition, you'll be in a better position to make more meaningful offers. And remember, offers are valuable. Treat them that way. And of course, don't forget, prior to making an offer, that you get funded. Make sure the money is ready. That way you can negotiate with power. And finally, present it personally if possible. Because remember, you're infinitely more powerful face to face than you are over the phone. And until next time, have a powerful sales day. Bye-bye.